April 25th, 2026. The court orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar. When I call you up, you'll stand behind the podium and give me your name and date of birth. On release conditions, I'm not going to set forth all your release conditions. They will be on your paperwork, so you'll be responsible for looking at your paperwork, and your court dates will be on them also. If I set a security appearance bond, you can go with a bondsman. It's my understanding they collect calls. Their names and numbers are on some of the walls of the jail. If you can't find me or need assistance, please ask one of the officers for help. All right, at a minimum, release conditions will say no drugs without a valid prescription and don't drive without a valid driver's license. Since we are this is being streamed, I will have to give the victim's rights advisement. If a person is a victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, they're advised they have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present in court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who's been convicted of causing your loss. If you've already not been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the prosecutor's office. Officer, we're going in a slightly different order because of add-ons. Okay, just to let you know. Okay. Chad Mitchell. Your name and date of birth.
Chad Mitchell, July 6, 1989.
All right, sir. You are charged with possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you. I will tell you this, your court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street. You have a status conference on April 30th at 8:30, a witness preliminary hearing on May 4th at 8:30. You're not possessing drugs without a valid prescription, of course. Now, in regard to this, you've been released on your own recognizance in CR 2025-137327, I believe, on September 16th of last year, or maybe it was September 13th. There was no security bond. You posted bond, right? I'm sorry. And so pursuant to Rule 7.2b and Article 222 of the Arizona Constitution, at this time, you'll be held without bond. So as a result, at that same address, you'll have an evidentiary hearing on May 1st at 1:30 to determine whether bond can be set, and your lawyer will explain that to you. At this point, you'll be held without bond. All right, step to your left, please. Nasim Simmons, step over there, please.
Thank you.
So your name and date of birth, please.
Nasim Simmons, 11/09/1999.
Okay. Sir, you are charged with 2 counts of burglary in the 3rd degree, class 4 felony, shoplifting with artifice, class 4 felony, and shoplifting, class 1 misdemeanor. I'm also appointing a lawyer for you. And you're not to return the scene of alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged complainant or witness. And you also will be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on April 30th at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing at this point is scheduled for May 4th at 8:30. Now, likewise for you, sir, you had your initial appearance on about November 16th of last year in CR 2025-144-813, and so as a result, you're out on felony release at the time. So, and I do find probable cause in regard to the felony charges. So at this point, you'll be held without bond, but you'll have an evidentiary hearing on May 1st at 1:30 to determine whether bond can be set at this time. Your lawyer will explain that all to you. All right, step to your left, please. All right, Patrick Solano. So your name and date of birth, please.
Patrick David Solano, 12/6/65, sir.
Okay. All right, sir, you are charged with aggravated assault, class 3 felony, criminal damage, class 1 misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, class 1 misdemeanor, endangerment, class 1 misdemeanor, criminal trespass, and third degree, class 3 misdemeanor, assault, class 3 misdemeanor. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be at 175 West Mass Street. The ones I'm setting now are at 8:30. Status conference on April 30th. Witness preliminary hearing on May 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. You cannot consume any alcohol. I will tell you this, the state was asking for a bond of $15,000. I'm setting bond in the amount of security appearance bond of $3,000. If you post a bond, you better show up for court or else you could lose your bond and a warrant will issue. All right, step to your left, please. Thalia Morrissey. Your name and date of birth, please.
Thalia Morsi, 10-201.
Okay. You are charged with aggravated assault, disorderly conduct, threatening, intimidating, refusing obstruction by refusing to give you a true name, assault, and criminal trespass. The first one is a felony. The rest are misdemeanors. I am appointing a lawyer for you. I will tell you this. It looks like you have a warrant out of the city of Phoenix. So is she? It's going to be seen tomorrow. What, at 4:30 or 4 o'clock rather? Yeah, you'll be seeing a Phoenix judge at 4 o'clock
Tomorrow?
today.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was looking at the time. They have a calendar at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
You don't have to stay overnight waiting for that court.
Okay.
Anyway, I said I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be on April 30th and May 4th, both at 8:30 at 175 West Madison Street. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. And okay, I know the state was asking for a $2,000 bond. I'm setting a security appearance bond for you in the amount of $1,000. All right, and it remains to be seen what Phoenix is going to do. All right,
So, well,
you have a warrant out of Phoenix also. So
yeah, just
Right.
for ticket.
so well, either way. No, it's more than just tickets. It's an DUI, extra
Yeah.
DUI.
That I'm paying off.
Okay, well that's between you and that judge. Okay,
Yeah.
step up.
Wait, so I have bond for $1,000?
Yeah, security appearance bond.
Today?
Oh, if you want to post it, you get out today. If not, you'll stay in. You can talk to your lawyer about that.
How long would I stay in?
Until your next court date, and then you can talk to your lawyer if you don't post your bond. Okay, please step over there. And Kimberly Ortega. Your name and date of birth, please.
Kimberly Ortega, August 1093.
All right, you've got a warrant out of the Surprise City Court on the theft charge. A lawyer will be appointed for you at the next court date, and the address will be on the paperwork here. It's Surprise City Court. Will be your arraignment hearing will be May 5th at 1:30. You cannot initiate contact with alleged victim or victims. Can't initiate contact with the alleged complainant or witnesses. Now, I told you 5-5 at 1:30, but the court there wanted a cash bond of $500. I'm going to make a security appearance bond of $500. So you can go to a bonding company. All right, step to your left, please. Robert Freeman.
Freeman.
Any word on number 7 yet?
You Freeman? What's up? Here. At the podium, sir.
Sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Robert Freeman, August 4th, 1988.
All right, sir, you've got a bench warrant out of Superior Court on a shoplifting charge, class 4 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you. And you'll be at 175 West Madison Street, 8:30 in the morning for status conference on April 30th and a witness preliminary hearing on May 4th. You cannot return the scene of the alleged crime and cannot initiate contact with alleged complainant or witnesses or victim, alleged victim. And your judge set bond in a secured appearance bond of $500 based on your failure to appear. So step to your left, please. Mary Neff. Ms. Neff, good afternoon. Your name and date of birth, please.
Marianne Neff, October 31st, 1971.
You didn't show up for your non-witness violation hearing in Superior Court. And I know you're on probation for possession of drug paraphernalia. I did appoint a lawyer for you. Well, actually, one was already appointed for you, but you'll have your non-witness violation hearing on May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. If you get out, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, no alcohol. All right. And your judge set bond the amount of $250 secured appearance bond. Post your bond, make sure you show up for court. All right. And contact your probation officer. Christopher Lindell. Oh, okay. Just let me know when you want me to refresh it. Okay. And so your name and date of birth, please.
Christopher Lindell, 12/31/79.
All right, so you're here on a probation violation warrant. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be at 201 West Jefferson. Your arraignment hearing on probation violation is May 1st at 8:30. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. If you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No alcohol, no weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. You're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. And your judge set bond the amount of $150 secured appearance bond. Let's step to your left, please. Joel Rosales. Okay, I got it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning.
All right, sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
It's gonna be Joel Rosales. Date of birth is 3/17/92.
Okay, sir. You have a bench warrant also out of Superior Court on possession, drug paraphernalia, possession of narcotic drugs. Second here.
Am I allowed to speak or no?
Actually, it's an arrest warrant, by the way. So yeah, I know you never appeared on it. It's not a bench warrant, it's an arrest warrant. Okay,
I did it.
okay. You may, they probably sent a summons to you and you didn't answer it. Okay, that's what happened. But anyway, I'm appointing a lawyer for you. The reason, let me talk and you'll not want to speak after that.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Your court dates, and don't lose your paperwork, will be at 175 West Madison Street on May 11th at 8:30 for status conference. A witness public hearing on May 13th. All right. Obviously, no drugs without a valid prescription. I'm releasing you to pretrial services. Okay. With drug testing, you have to contact them within 72 hours and read the packet and make sure you're in compliance with them so you avoid another warrant. Okay?
Again, am I allowed to ask a question or no?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, you'll be probably getting out between 4 and 6 hours.
I'm sorry, what?
You'll be out within about 4 to 6 hours. That's about how long.
No,
it
that's
takes
not
to
what I was
process it.
asking.
Okay. I still want to tell you that. Okay.
Okay, never mind. Thank
Sure.
you.
Okay. No, they haven't. Let me see. Oh, they were out of Pinell County. Okay, Nicholas Brooks. Your name and date of birth, please.
Nicholas Brooks, 2/21/95.
Hey, what happened was, they just sent a warrant out of Apache Junction City Court, and that's what we're waiting for, okay? It's on, driving while license suspended, and they wanted a $500 bond on that. Now, we're at Apache Junction City Court, well, April 29th at 8:30. I'm reducing to $100. Now, the question is, because you got the new charge here, so I don't know if I can take you there first or wait till after Maricopa County's done first. You'll talk to your lawyer about that, all right? But then in the case you have here, a new case, your report, charged with unlawful means of transportation, a class 6 felony. I do find probable cause you committed that offense. Now, I did appoint a lawyer for you. You'll have status conference on April 30th and witness preliminary hearing on May 4th, both at 8:30 at 175 West Madison Street. And you're not to have any contact with any alleged complainant or witness or any co-defendant, no weapons, no drugs, without a valid prescription, no alcohol. Get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Now, you had been, your initial appearance on January 16th, in CR 2025-008071. And obviously you're on probation also. I think you got a court date, I think in early May on that one. But pursuant to Rule 7.2B and Article 2, Section 22 of the Arizona Constitution, you'll be held without bond at this time. As a result, there'll be an evidentiary hearing on May 1st at 1:30 to determine whether the bond can be set. Your lawyer will explain that to you. All right, step to your left, please. Okay. Did I do number 11 already?
No.
Okay, I couldn't remember where I left off. Okay,
Oh, no, yes, you did.
I did do it.
Cool.
Okay, number 12, Cody Rasmussen.
Cody Rasmussen, 01/14/2003.
I can tell you this: if you go back to say Minnesota, you might have you won't be as welcomed. You know, I'm talking about this warrant for you. Okay.
I know, I need to go.
What?
I'm
I'm saying it's only within that state. That's what I'm telling you to step in there. You'd be subject to that warrant. Okay. I'd like to let
Yes,
people
sir.
know about that. All right. So you're charged here with possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. I did appoint a lawyer for you. Keep your paperwork because your court dates are at 175 West Madison Street at 8:30 in the morning. Status conference on May 11th and witness coming here on May 13th. I would tell you this: you'll be released to pretrial services. Contact them within 72 hours and make sure you get your drug testing. If you don't comply with their terms, you could have another warrant.
Can I,
So you'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours.
okay, so stay here for 46 hours and then,
You know, that's about how long it takes to process, then they'll let you out. But they'll be getting a packet for pretrial services, so make sure you contact them.
okay,
That's what I'm saying, okay?
okay.
Right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Xavier Gomez?
Xavier Gomez, November 4th, 2003.
It's nice how some people are starting to listen. Normally, I'll say people stand up there behind the podium, give me your name and date of birth. Well, actually, people doing that, I appreciate that. So, well, thank you. Anyway, so you're charged with discharging a firearm in city limit, a class 6 felony. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your court date will be at 175 West Madison Street at 8:30. Status conference on May 11th and witness preliminary hearing on May 13th. Don't make sure you show up. Contact the pretrial services in 72 hours. You'll be released to pretrial service. Make sure you comply with them and read carefully the information you get about pretrial services. So you'll be out in about 46 hours. All right, and no weapons. Okay. Anthony Crawford. Good afternoon, sir.
I know.
Your name and date of birth.
Anthony Glenn Crawford, 1368.
I knew it was too good to be true when about 2 or 3 people listened and gave me their name and date of birth when I first came up there. All right, sir, you're charged with possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, and the possession of an open container of alcohol in the vehicle, class 2 misdemeanor. At this point, I don't have enough information in regards to the dangerous drug charge, so I don't find probable cause. Doesn't mean you won't be charged with it. They have to do the drug test, and so, just make sure you show up for court also, okay? I appointed a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street, 8:30. Status conference on May 11th, and a witness preliminary hearing on May 13th. All right, make sure you go to no contact with any co-defendant, and report to pretrial services within 72 hours, and have drug testing and monitoring, and read carefully the packet get from one of the officers so you know what to do about pretrial services. All right?
Okay.
All right. You'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours. Okay. Sierra Johnston. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Sierra Johnston, 51288.
All right, you are charged with possession of an open container of alcohol in the vehicle, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drugs. This time, I don't have enough information to find probable cause in regard to the possession of open container of alcohol. Doesn't mean it'll be up to the prosecutors to decide whether you'll be charged or not on that. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Likewise, no contact with any of the other 2 folks, who are here today. And you'll likewise report to pretrial services within 72 hours for drug testing. Once again, read that packet, make sure you comply with them, and get your drug testing, et cetera, okay? But you'll be out 4 to 6 hours probably. All right, step to your left, please. Luis Ruiz. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Luis Carlos Ruiz, September 4th, 1995.
Sir, you have 3 matters before me. I'm actually giving you a break. I hope you comply with and show up for court like you're supposed to do. All right, let's start with the first one. And it's a new case, 2026-115556. You're charged with possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, possession of open container of alcohol, class 2 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for you. All right. Your court dates will be May 11th and May 13th. Status conference and a witness preliminary hearing at 8:30 at 175 West Madison Street. You can't. Now, these following terms apply to all 3. Okay, I'm not going to repeat them. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. And I'm going to release you to the supervised release of your probation officer. So you have to make sure you contact the probation officer within 72 hours and remain under his or her supervision. That's your release to your probation officer, okay? Now, and then you have 2026-102-961. That's a probation violation on a class 6. You're alleged to violate term number 1. I'm going to change that, by the way. Yeah, okay. Make it consistent with the other ones. Like, it'll be the same release conditions to your probation officer. On this one, you can be at a different building. Ultimately, they'll probably be put together and get a lawyer on this one also. May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. So keep your paperwork so you know 2 different times, 2 different places, okay? At least initially, all right? And then finally, in 2026-109-777, there's another probation violation. Once again, May 1st at 201 West Jefferson, same conditions, okay? So make sure your probation officer can be waiting for you. So make sure you can be in contact with that person, all right? You'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours. Okay, thank you. Ruben Vasquez. Oh. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Ruben Vasquez, Bustamante, 7376.
Okay, so you've got a warrant out of, the West Mesa Justice Court. It looks like, you failure to pay or not do the classes or something like that.
No, I missed some payments, but I went to court on the 22nd, and they were supposed to squash that warrant.
Quash it? Well,
Yeah.
they didn't. It was
The-
that way.
they-
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, sir, because this has gone on too long, okay? Because you've had warrants for off and on since
Yeah, it's because of the payment, and I got
know.
a job already, sir.
I'm releasing you.
Thank you.
Okay, so, you have to be back there on May 12th at 8:30. You think they quashed the warrant, they apparently didn't, so show up in that court date and make
I will,
sure everything's cool, if you owe money, whatever, take care of it, all right?
Thank you.
So you don't have to spend your time here,
Thank you, sir.
okay? Alfredo Jimenez? So your name and date of birth, please.
Alfredo Jimenez, 92594.
Okay, sir. Now you have a failure to pay warrant out of the North Mesa Justice Court. They wanted a $500 bond. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Be smart, so you don't have to spend more time here. You know what I mean?
Understand.
And so be there on May 14th at 1 o'clock. It'll be on your paperwork at the North Mesa Justice Court.
Okay.
No physical contact with the alleged victim on that case. All right.
All right.
But show
Thank you,
up. You know, like I told other people, it's going to be a few hours before you get out.
sir. Okay,
all right.
46 hours.
But
4 to 6 hours, that's
Yeah.
it then.
you were listening, good.
Yeah.
All right. Paulina Rodriguez. Paulina Rodriguez.
Helena Rodriguez, 02-2792.
You got two matters before me. One is probation violation. I appointed a lawyer for you. And your court date for that one will be May 1st at 8:30 at 201 East Jefferson. You'll be released your supervision probation officer. All right. You have to contact the probation officer within 72 hours of this release. So, you know, when the 72 hours runs now, no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. All right. Now, and you also have a warrant out of the Surprise City Court on a criminal trespass, class 1 misdemeanor. Be there on May 27th at 1:30. The address will be there because letting you out. But they can't return the scene of alleged crime or initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. No alcohol, no weapons, etc. All right. So be smart and show up for both those court dates. Both court places. All right. Step to your left, please. Step to your left. Okay. They'll give you paperwork. Alexis Patron. Afternoon, sir.
Alexis Patron, 0427.
You're one of those people I never understand. They get warrants on driving license suspended charges, and they spend all these hours in jail. And I always ask the question, is it worth it? So, right. So the point is, be there on May 14th at North Mesa Justice Court. The address will be in your paperwork at 1 o'clock. Don't drive unless you have a valid driver's license, and you'll be released on your own recognizance rather than saying a bond of $500. Okay. All right. Step to your left, please. Jalen Yates. Your name and date of birth, please.
Jalen Yates, December 28, 1998.
You got a warrant out of Arrowhead Justice Court for driving a license suspended. Everybody said to the other gentleman,
Yeah.
is it worth spending the time? No.
No.
So just be there. The address is on and your paperwork at the Arrowhead Justice Court, May 12th at 2 o'clock. They wanted a $570 bond, but I'm releasing you also on your own recognizance. Be smart and show up there, okay?
I got you.
All right, step to your left, please.
Thank you.
All right, let's do Octavius Wilson. And both of them are on?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, sir, I'm gonna explain some things to you first of all. First of all, give me your name and date of birth, please.
Octavius Wilson, 7/3/2004.
All right, the reason I was actually doing it later, because yours is like a late add-on. You have an attorney appearing and I'll talk about that in a second, okay? Appearing virtually, okay? So I decided to put on in the end. I told we had my staff tell the lawyers it's going to do it at the end of the calendar, okay? All right, the attorneys announced for the record, please. Let's start
In
with-
Your Honor, Don Sauer on behalf of the state.
Okay,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Tabu on behalf of Octavius Wilson, who's in custody, standing at the podium before the court.
right, okay. Now, Mr. Wilson, let me explain something to you. Right now, you have an attorney who filed a notice of appearance, so he's representing you. So I may be looking at you, talking to you, but my recommendation is to let your attorney speak for you, okay? So even though I'm not expecting a response from you, because he's your spokesperson now, okay? And if he was here, obviously you could have a private conversation with him, but obviously you can't since he's appearing virtually. So I just want to explain the parameters of what we're doing here, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. I will tell you this. Give me 1 second here. It's Counsel, your name is pronounced Tamu, right?
That's correct. Tamu, T-A-M-O-U.
Okay, Mr. I hate mispronouncing people's names, so.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
All right.
Mr. Tamu, in regard to this, I will tell you this, I have not even made a decision one way or the other in regard to what I'm going to do. All I have done is read the Form 4. Have you had access to the Form 4?
I have, Your Honor. Yes, I have.
Okay, excellent. That's the only thing I've read, other than Ms. Sauer has submitted a recommendation on that, and she'll be speaking on that first, okay? And once again, sir, that's strange. I put down counsel's name and then it didn't take. Okay. Sir, once again, I'm just speaking to you, but no response. Okay. You are charged with aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument, deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a class 3 felony, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct, class 1 misdemeanors. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to do, I'm going to allow the prosecutor to speak first, and this Mr. Tamu will speak after her. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Sauer.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's seeking a $50,000 secured appearance bond. The state believes he's a danger to the community and to his family. He threatened the victims with a knife to the point where one of the victims had barricaded himself in a room. The state's also requesting electronic monitoring if released and no returning to the scene and no contact with the victims. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is for both attorneys. Obviously, I read the Form 4 and what the allegations are, and it said they confirmed with mother. That was pretty much what his brother said. Unfortunately, I know there's a late add-on. A lot of times we have victim impact statements. We don't have that there. So I'm almost missing a little bit of information in regard to that. Mr.
Maybe I can help you fill in.
Okay,
Yeah,
one thing,
I can help
just
fill
answers
that.
one question first of all. I just because I'm assuming they're all Wilson, so I'm going to just by first name, not trying to be too informal. But I assume Octavius was also living at that residence also. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, now you may begin.
Sure, Your Honor. So we would be requesting that Mr. Wilson be released to pretrial services without a secured bond or electronic monitoring. Your Honor, I do want to acknowledge at the outset that the allegations in the probable cause statement involve a family dispute that escalated, and the presence of a knife is obviously something that the court should take seriously. However, when you look at the totality of the circumstances, this is not a case involving a stranger, not a case involving ongoing criminal conduct, and it's not a case that involves someone with a history of violence or felony behavior. My client is 21 years old. He has no prior felony history. This appears to be an isolated, emotionally charged incident within the home. And it involves the immediate family members, but there's no indication that the conduct is going to extend beyond that setting. And according to the family, this is likely linked to a mental health diagnosis. And just to fill in that little area for you, Your Honor, that you started with, the family as a whole has retained counsel for Octavius. Importantly, Mr. Wilson has strong ties to the community and is secured. There's a structured environment available if he is released. To the extent I think that the court has any concerns regarding safety, I think that those can be addressed by pretrial services supervision, including reporting requirements and any mental health or anger management evaluation that the court may find necessary in the future. But with respect to contact, Your Honor, we would ask that the court allow Mr. Wilson to return to the residence and have contact with the alleged victims, so long as the contact is voluntary with their consent. This is a family situation, Your Honor, and I know we see it often, and I know that the allegations are extremely, disturbing when you read it on paper, but the family did state to the police, in my understanding, that they didn't want to press charges. They don't feel like he's a danger.
That's not in the Form 4.
So this is directly from and that's okay. Exactly, Your Honor. I believe that there is no evidence that Mr. Wilson would be a flight risk. He remained at the scene. Obviously, he was contained. He was contacted by the officers. I think that the issue before the court's not really about appearance. It's just whether he's going to show. And under Rule 7, I think that the court is required to impose the least restrictive conditions necessary to assure his appearance. So I think that no secured bond is more restrictive than that, or a secured bond, I would say, is more restrictive than necessary. Given his age, lack of felony history, and the strong family support, the same victims that are alleged in the report that retain counsel as a whole, I believe that release to pretrial services is going to be more than enough, Your Honor. The family and I are working together in order to get the right team in front of this.
Okay, I have a question for you. There are actually a couple of
Yes.
comments in regard to what you said, because you said there may arise out of a mental health issue. Is there any contemplation of a petition for COE, court-ordered evaluation?
No, Your Honor. No, I think it's not to that level, but there is a mental health diagnosis, and I think it has to do with medication.
Okay. Now, the other comment I would
Yes.
make, you almost said like, oh, this is a better thing since it was just family, but actually anyone who's dealt in that things that he certainly can't minimize the importance and the seriousness of domestic violence. There's plenty of homicides and serious cases that occur in domestic violence, and that so the court doesn't look at it the same way as I interpret what you're saying. But I understand the spirit in what you're saying, but I just certainly don't want to minimize that issue. But I know you said now the fact that the family as a whole, as you put it, has retained you, can be looked at one of two ways. One is that they may or may not want to press charges or to minimize the charges, or else families are sort of sticking together and just making sure he gets the best representation. So it can work looked at it a couple of different ways.
Yes, Your Honor.
I certainly am noticing your appearance on that. Let me just tell you his court date, and you're hearing this now, okay? April 26th at 8:30 for status conference. I'll be at 175 West Madison Street. A witness preliminary hearing is set for May 4th at 8:30. Now, that's a tentative date. Mr. Temple will explain to you what I'm hinting at in regard to that, but he'll tell you privately, okay?
Of course.
That's what's scheduled right now. At this point, Mr. Temple, you can, when you're in front of the assigned court, you can ask to change that, but At this point, I'm not going to allow you to have any contact with any alleged victims in regard to this. You're not to possess any weapons. And what goes in your favor is I didn't see any record on your behalf, and that's very significant in my point of view also, which is very helpful to you. Let's see. How old are you, so you can answer this question?
21.
21. Okay, so I don't have to put down the no alcohol thing. So, all right. You're not to return to scene of alleged crime. You can initiate contact with the alleged victim and have any contact with them. You can allowed to return there one time with a police officer on civil standby to pick up essential belongings. You can't possess any weapons. I'm going to set a security appearance bond of $20,000, but with electronic monitoring, which you can be installed before you're released with curfew hours to be approved by pretrial. You can only leave your residence and hours approved by pretrial services. So, sir, I'm making this ruling now, and obviously Mr. Tamu can make his application in your assigned court in regard to it. But I only have the information I do have, plus what has been provided by both counsel. And it's a very serious situation. It's alleged that your brother basically hid in the room and then ended up breaking the window to get out. And he's heard on the 911 tapes being afraid of being killed. We can't minimize that. It's obviously, it went beyond the normal thing about threats. It had a weapon involved with that. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right? Step to your left, please, sir. And Mr. Tamu will be in contact with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Your Honor.
Yeah, you both choose. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Marilyn Chi. Oh, they took everybody out. Oh, we're back. Oh, what about, hold it. Yes, I'm sorry, you're right. I'll tell you what I can do. Let me just do the house calls first. I'll just put them on the record. But thank you. I didn't realize we were down that far. So let's do number 1. Dantaville, Webb, unable to function or follow orders. Charged possession of weapon by prohibited person and a DUI. Appointing a lawyer form. Court date is 4:30 and 5/4 for witness. Status conference and witness preliminary hearing both at 8:30, 175 West Madison. Bond is set in the amount of a security appearance bond of $1,500. Okay, then we have David Ruiz, who has got about 5 matters. He's a house call because he's in Nassau and a suicide watch. So let's just go over each one on that. 2026 10666, charged with it's an arrest warrant and possession of narcotic drugs. Obviously, he's apply all his matters. If he gets out, he's kind of contacts probation officer within 72 hours of release. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Because he's bond was on the probation violation, and also one of the other matters, I set a placeholder bond of $25, security appearance bond. Then we have a new case of 2026 115557. Theft of means of transportation, burglary in 3rd degree, drug paraphernalia, appointing a lawyer for him. Court dates April 30th and May 4th, just like the other one at 8:30 at 175 West Madison. Same release conditions, but bond on that one is $5,000. Actually, that's the recommendation of the state on that one. Then we have a East Mirage City Court matter in 2025 000337, false reporting and and drug paraphernalia. A lawyer will be appointed at the next court date, which is scheduled this time of May 4th, 10 o'clock in the El Mirage City Court. Because the other holds, I set a bond of $50 on that. Otherwise, the release conditions stay the same as for the other ones. And then he's got an arrest warrant in 2026, 100847, possession of narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, wanting a lawyer for him. Actually, I have to amend that, by the way, it doesn't have the attorney on it. Anyway, his court dates, same court dates, and I said bond and $25 on that one. And finally, in 2025, 000958. Let me say that one again. 2025, 000958. Got a chart. It's a another arrest warrant for narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, same court date, same release conditions, $25 bond. All right. Then we have Cole Gallagher, was also on suicide watch, charged with unlawful imprisonment, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. Appoint a lawyer for him. His court dates were May 11th at 8:30 for status conference. Witness preliminary hearing on May 13th at 175 West Madison. He'll be released. Pretrial services must report to them within 72 hours. He cannot initiate contact with the alleged victim, and no alcohol. And David Collins, he's in medical isolation. He's extreme fall risk. So we have to go to that way back room, right? For the medical ward for that?
Can you repeat that one more time, Robert?
Because he said he's in medical isolation, extreme fall risk. So we may have to go all the way back there. But anyway.
No, I think he's in the hallway. He's
Oh, okay.
isolated due to medical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's got a probation violation warrant. He's on a class 3 felony. Okay. His revocation arraignment hearing will be May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. He can initiate contact with the alleged victim. He's got to register, no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs, without a valid prescription. And he, I have to leave, excuse me, I left something out, by the way. I'm editing this. Here we go. This is what I'm changing, by the way, officer. Okay. Okay. And that takes care of our house calls. And then we have, the only one we have left is Marilys Chi. Correct? Yeah. Is that the last one we have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Morales Shi, 08/01/2003.
All right, so you're charged with one count of child sex trafficking with a minor between 15 and 17 years of age, a class 2 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you. The state is actually asking for a $100,000 bond on yours. Your court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street. You got a status conference on April 30th at 8:30. At this point, you have a witness preliminary hearing on May 4th at 8:30. That may be changed. Your lawyer will explain it to you. If you do push your bond, you'll be on have an ankle bracelet, and you'll be at curfew only on hours. You can only leave your home during hours approved by pretrial services. And you have a cash bond of $50,000. All right, step to your left, please. Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
After that star we have, in terms of things.
Martinez.
All right. All right, everyone, please be seated. Oh, by the way, number 16 was moved to 8 o'clock. Okay. Ashley Camarino was moved to 8 o'clock, in case you didn't get the word. All right, good evening, everybody. This is the 5 o'clock calendar. It's April 25th of 2026. The court orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were previously given on the first calendar this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. When I call your name, stand behind the podium, give me your name and your date of birth. I'm not going to say out loud all of your release conditions. They will be on your paperwork, so you'll be responsible for reading them. At a minimum, it'll say no drugs without a valid prescription, don't drive without a valid driver's license. For those of you who do set a security appearance bond, you can go through a bondsman. It's my understanding they collect calls. They on some of the walls of the jail, they do have lists and phone numbers and names of bonding companies. If you have any difficulty finding it or need assistance, ask one of the officers for help. All right, since we are being streamed, I do give the victim's rights advisement. If a person is a victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, they're advised that they have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present in court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who's been convicted of causing your loss. If you've already not been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, you should contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Okay, let's start with David Dardis. So your name and date of birth, please.
David Doris, 11/17/1987.
All right, so you got three different matters before me. One, you have a bench warrant out of Superior Court in 2024, 135323, on a theft of means of transportation and burglary tools, possessing burglary tools. You already have an attorney on that one. And you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victim, among other things. Your court date will be May 5th at 8:30 for a status conference at, oh, 1 second. Let me check this out here. Okay. What I have set for you is a status conference on May 5 at 8:30 in the morning at 2. Is that right? That can't be a 201 West Jefferson. It's not a probation violation either. Usually have 2 court dates. So let me see what the, it was indictment, that's right. But let me see which judge it's from. Is that judge in the Central Court building? Maybe that's what it is. What?
Cell number 2?
Yeah. Let's see who the judge was. I want to make sure we assign to the right place. Okay. Was Judge Brain, I think? Your case? Judge Brain?
I don't know.
Let me just. A second. Commissioner Yost. In front of Judge Brain, he said, is he in 201 West, is he in the Central Court building?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, that's right, okay. I thought he might be in the South Court Tower, that's fine. All right. So this, you'll be in different courts, by the way. And this one, you're scheduled to be on, for status conference at 201 West Jefferson, May 5th at 8:30. You already have an attorney on that one. Okay, then, you also got a warrant out of the Peoria City Court, the address on your paperwork, a lawyer, on failure to notify of an accident or unattended vehicle and criminal damage. Appoint a lawyer for you. A lawyer will be appointed for your next court date, which will be in Peoria on April 28th at 9 o'clock. I reduced the bond to $100 secured appearance bond on that. Now, I would note on the other case that where you had the warrant, you had your initial appearance on, I believe, on July 29th of 2024. And in 2026, 115559, the acts are alleged to have occurred on April 19th, 2026. I do find probable cause to believe, well, first of all, the charges are traffic and stolen property in the first degree, class 2 felony, 2 counts of burglary in the second degree, class 3 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest. That may be a misdemeanor because they said passive resistance, but certainly on the burglary, second degree, and traffic and stolen property, I do find probable cause. So pursuant to Article 7.2B and Article 2, Section 22 of the Arizona Constitution, you will be held without bond. Your court dates will be on these. One will be at 175 West Madison. You'll talk to your lawyers so they can put them in the same courtroom. On April 30th at 8:30 for a status conference. And at this point, a witness preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 4th. That might change at 8:30. Now you'll have an evidentiary hearing on May 1st at 1:30 to determine whether bond can be set. Your lawyer will explain that to you. All right? Step to your left, please. Manuel Marado. And so your name and date of birth, please.
Manny Morado, 10589.
All right, so you're charged with theft and resisting arrest, 2 class 6 felonies. Your court, you'll be appointed a lawyer for you. Your next court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street at 8:30 in the morning, a status conference on April 30th, and a witness preliminary hearing at May 4th. I just want to check one other thing here. Oh, yeah, okay. You know, the prosecutors were asking for a bond of $10,000. I'm going to make it $2,500 secured appearance bond. But if you post your bond, you'll have an ankle bracelet put on you, and it'll be a curfew, and you can only leave your home during hours approved by probation. By pretrial services. And you can't return to the scene of the alleged crime or initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. All right, step to your left, please. William Chavez.
We'll get to the over in a little bit, okay? Thank you.
Hello, Your Honor.
All right, your name and date of birth, please.
William Hernandez Chavez, 10/22/1993.
Okay, so you got two cases here. One is a new charge of at Superior Court. Possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony, and open container of alcohol, class 2 misdemeanor. I did appoint a lawyer for you. Don't lose your paperwork. Make sure you show up for court. You'll be at 175 West Madison Street on May 11th at 8:30 for status conference. Witness preliminary hearing is May 13th at 8:30. You'll be released to pretrial services. You got to report to them within 72 hours and do drug testing. I want to make sure you get that done so there's no warrant. Now, then you've got,
I'm sorry, do that what?
you'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours. But you'll get some paperwork about pretrial services. You got to get in contact with them and do drug testing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in your other case, you've got a warrant out of the McDowell Mountain Justice Court on exceeding the supposed speed limit by more than 20 miles per hour and driving license suspended or revoked. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on that. Be smart and don't have to spend your time here.
I already,
They must not think so. You know what I mean? So
the
show up
private school.
for court there on May 13th at 8:30 at the McDowell Mountain Justice Court.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let me just look something up for you. Maybe I can see what the story is here. No, it showed you failures to appear, and that's all I know, okay? You'll better straighten it out with them, though, okay? But you'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours, okay?
I'll be out in 46 hours?
4 to 6, not 40. 4 to 6. A little bit different. Arthur Flores? I've got to refresh it. So I'm going out of order. One. Let's see here. All right. So your name and date of birth, please.
Arthur Flores, September 13th, 1983.
All right, sir. You're charged in the North Valley Justice Court with assault. Okay. If you want a lawyer, you're going to have to hire one yourself. I cannot appoint one for you. Your court date will be on May 12th at 9 o'clock, North Valley Justice Court. Your address will be on your paperwork. A couple of things. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with alleged victim or victims. You're allowed to come back one time with a police officer on a civil standby to pick up essential belongings. I also add a provision. You may return to the scene of the alleged crime and or initiate contact with the alleged victim only with prior written approval of the alleged victim. Okay? So make sure you show up for court. All right? All right. Step to your left, please. Andrew Verdosa. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Andrew Verderosa, 12/27/2006.
All right, sir, you are charged with one count of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, class 2 felony, possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, possession and use of a weapon or drug offense, class 4 felony, possession of marijuana for sale, class 6 felony, failing to admit that you are carrying a deadly weapon and carrying a deadly weapon being under 21 years of age. Okay, I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be a status conference on April 30th at 8:30, witness preliminary hearing on May 4th at 8:30, 175 West Madison Street. Obviously, because of your age, you cannot consume any alcohol or possess any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. And the state wanted a bond of $25,000 bond. I'm going to make a secured appearance bond of $25,000 so you can go to a bondsman. All right, step to your left, please. Karen Warner.
Can I say something real quick, Your Honor?
No, if you can, if it's your name and date of birth.
Aaron Warner, 4/18/79.
All right. This applies to everybody. obviously people can say what they want, but I always recommend not to talk about the facts of the case because everything's being recorded. And over the years, I've heard people say
I just
stuff.
want to ask a favor because I'm doing real good in my life, and if I don't get out on without, because I don't have no money, I have my Cash App card, I have no family, so if I don't get out,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
lose my job and my whole.
Well, let me explain
so-
something to you in your particular situation, okay?
And my
Now,
PO.
I'll be very honest with you. You were here on a grand jury warrant, and I know you're on probation, but you were placed on probation after this.
Yeah, my PO,
Or after this alleged to have occurred.
Yes.
I'm still directing that if you do post your bond, you have to contact your probation officer with.
But I've been keeping an eye on it. I've been told her about it.
Sir,
and I've been
you keep
calling.
interrupting me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If you get out, you have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. You are charged with 2 counts of aggravated DUI. And I want to just point out one thing to you, sir. Upon the return of the indictment, because this alleged to have occurred on May 23rd, 2025, a judge made a ruling, another judge made a ruling on what the bond would be for the indictment. And this is one thing they wrote here.
So I've been in rehab.
One second. I just
Okay.
wanna- You wrote down, you have 8 prior felony convictions and 1 subsequent felony conviction. You're currently on probation 4. You have 4 prior DUI convictions, though they are old, and you face up to 15 years in Department of Corrections in this case. Okay? So as a result,
Well,
that judge said bond amount of $20,000 secured its appearance bond.
Do what now?
20,000 secured appearance.
I can't do it, man.
Well,
I'm
then
working,
just-
dude. I'm doing the best
All
I
you can
ever
do
did.
is, you'll call up a lawyer.
I would have went and took care of it if I
Well,
would have known.
It's an indictment. All right, step to the please. Ashley Aldridge. All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Ashley Aldridge, 21392.
Are you charged with aggravated assault, class 3 felony? This is a situation I cannot appoint an attorney for you, but obviously you can, if you find you're unable to afford one, you can always apply to your assigned judge to see if he or she will appoint one for you, but no promises on that. All right? Your court dates will be at 8:30 in the morning at 175 West Madison Street. Status conference on April 30th and witness penalty hearing on May 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victims. You're allowed to go back one time with a police officer on civil standby to pick up essential belongings. You're not to possess any weapons. And bond is the state going to bond of $50,000. I'm going to make a security appearance bond of $25,000. Step to your left, please. If you post your bond, make sure you show up. All right, Thomas Still. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Thomas Steele, 020708.
Are you here on 2 matters? Let's deal with the probation matter first. You're on probation for a class 6 felony because being a prohibited possessor, I believe. Double check that. It says possession of weapon by prohibited person, a class 6 felony, but that would be a class 4. Either way, you're on probation. You're alleged to have violated terms 3, 5, 7, and 15. I appointed a lawyer for you. Your revocation arraignment hearing will be on May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. You can't possess any weapons, no alcohol, and if you get out, contact your probation officer in 72 hours. Those conditions apply to both matters. Now, in the new case, you've got a charge of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, possession or sale of a prohibited weapon, a class 4 felony, possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a class 4 felony. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. One other thing, sir. Apparently, you may have a warrant from the USC Marshal's office and they've been notified, so regardless of what happens here, you might have a hold from the feds. Okay, just want to let you know. And that would not be, and the bond decision would not be made here. Okay, it'd be done at the federal level. Anyway, so,
Wait, sir.
yeah,
My fault, Your
try to
Honor.
keep your voice up though.
I said my fault, Your Honor. I didn't mean to say it like that, but during the federal one, during my federal thing, not to get too much into that, but there can be a bond set for that.
Yeah, I'm not experienced in federal, at least it said bonds, okay? I don't want to say that for sure, but I just don't know. And right now, it doesn't look like there's a hold on him, right? It just says they've been notified and there is a warrant, so.
Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because for the federal one, because I committed that offense was when I was
Okay,
a
try not to say you committed that.
whenever I got charged for that, I was a juvenile. So I'm still under the Juvenile Delinquency Act under federal.
Okay.
So for that, like that being that, I can't have a bond set for federal in general because I'm still technically a
Okay.
juvenile.
Okay, well, you'll have to deal with them. Once again, it's not handled here. I'm just giving you as a courtesy to let you know that there's a warrant and that they've been notified. Okay?
Right.
Anyway, in your particular case, this prosecutors want a bond of $75,000. I'm setting a cash bond of $10,000. But once again, what happens in the feds may influence what happens with you. All right? Again, step to your left, please. Jose Lopez. Right, your name and date of birth, please, sir.
Jose Lopez, date of birth is 2567.
Okay, sir. You've got a warrant out of the Pinal County Superior Court on a shoplifting charge. So they'll obviously be appointing a lawyer for your next court date. You'll be at the Pinal County Superior Court on April 29th at 8:30. The address is on your paperwork. You can't return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. And they set bond for you in Pinal County, $5,000 security appearance bond. You can talk to your lawyer, about trying to change the bond, but right now, that has to be done down there. Okay, all right, step to your left, please.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Oh, you did not do number 4 already? Oh, you didn't block it out, okay. So I can do number 13 is next. But I definitely did number 4, right? I recognize the name. Yeah, I did some before I refreshed it, okay. Okay, Rosie Atkinson. Oh, your name and date of birth, please.
It's Rosie Dawn Atkinson. My date of birth is October 17th, 1983.
Very good. You got a warrant out in the Nogales Justice Court.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's on a DUI and disobeying or resisting an order of the court. Okay, it was an interference with judicial proceedings and DUI. Okay, and it looks like it's based on a failure to pay.
I did. I ended up moving out of state, and
Okay, I'm just telling you. Remember, it's different when it's out of state.
Oh,
I don't get as much information. Let me see what I can.
I'm sorry.
Let me see what I can find here. Okay. Last time. Let's see here. With the compliance issuance for a bond, it was back from April 24. And the last even entry they had was in May of 2024. Because apparently you pled guilty to
Right, and
DUI and the other charges were dismissed.
I'm getting ready to establish new work, and I'm interested in working with them to possibly
Sure. Okay,
get
let's
my
do
license
something
back now.
They said bond amount of $24.99,
Okay.
$2,499. I have a feeling that's probably how much money you owe. That's my guess.
Okay.
Because remember, it's a different county. So what I've done, I'm going to edit this, by the way, to tell you. Okay. Ordinarily, And I never change out of county warrants, but, that's my feeling, because we have a feeling generally on failures to appear, we deal with things differently, but, so I'm gonna reduce it to $500. If you post at security appearance bonds, you can go to a bondsman, so you don't have to pull the full amount, but, if you get out, make sure.
In the event that I was unable to, because I'm kind of new to that, do I just have another chance to appear? Or?
Yeah, if not,
Okay.
they'll pick you up and take you down there on April 29th.
Okay,
But as I said, I reduced it considerably, which ordinarily I wouldn't do.
I really appreciate
It's
your
not
help.
a failure to pay, and I just feeling that was the amount, and, okay, we'll just leave it at that, okay? So.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you,
take-
Your Honor.
Step to your left, please. Shelby Shepherd.
Shelby Trevor? The podium.
All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Shelby Shepherd, September 5th, 1975.
All right, you've got a total of 4 probation violations. On each one, you're alleged to violated terms 3, 4, and 5, and appoint a lawyer for you on each one. I will tell you this, you have to obviously get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. And can't possess or consume any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. One of my, I did it just a typo, so I gotta just change that one thing. It was on, number 22, I just had to put a comma in there, that's all. Anyway, on all, the judge down in probation violation court said bond on each one of $250 for a total of $1,000 security appearance bond. But if you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer within 72 hours. All right, step to your left, please. Nicholas Renteria.
You Nicholas? Yes. All right, let's do the podium here.
All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Nicholas Renteria, June 15th, 94.
All right, you're here also on a probation violation. I appoint a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be at 201 West Jefferson for a revocation arraignment hearing, May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. You're alleged to have violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 15. If you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. And a judge down in that court said bond in the amount of $150 security appearance bond. All right, step to your left, please. Jeffrey Connolly.
Yes.
I did number 7 already, right? Okay, because I don't know if you can gray it out, right? Okay, because I made it orange or red, so I didn't know if you could do it. Any other ones I've done when they didn't go out, when I went out of order? Okay, all right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Jeffrey Conley, 12/26/1963.
All right, sir, you are charged with possession of dangerous drugs, possession of burglary tools, and unlawful use of means of transportation as the passenger. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You can't return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. You can't have any contact with any co-defendant. No alcohol. Well, you know what, sir? I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You get information from the officers. You got to report to them within the 72-hour period. And if you don't comply with pretrial service, there'll be a warrant after you, okay? Yes, sir. So you'll be out in about 4 to 6 hours, but read that material about pretrial services, all right? They'll give it to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna be let go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Jesus Garcia? All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Jesus M. Garcia, 09/05/1997, sir.
All right, so you're charged with one count of aggravated DUI, driving on the wrong way, a class 4 felony.
Yes, sir.
You have to hire your own attorney. If you can't afford one, you can always ask your assigned judge to see if he or she will do it, but no promises in regards to that, okay? Now, sir, your court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street. It'll be on your paperwork. May 11th at 8:30 for status conference. Witness plum hearing on May 13th at 8:30. All right. You're absolutely not to drink any alcohol whatsoever. Now, sir, because I'm assuming that the blood, you don't have to say anything, okay? I'm assuming they took blood or they're doing a blood test. And so there's a good chance it hasn't already been done yet. So I'm letting you go, but make sure you show up for that court date. I can't promise you that the county attorney's office won't have charged something by then, but you better show up anyway. If they don't, make sure you check your mail so you want to avoid a warrant. I'm releasing the pretrial services. Report them within 72 hours with alcohol testing, like I told the other people. Read the paperwork to make sure you're in compliance. Okay, because I'm saying with these DUIs, they may be serious, but I can't guarantee to be charged in time. So just check, all right? And check with the lawyer also, all right?
Yes,
All right, step to your left, please.
So I'll be out in 4. Well,
You'll be out soon, yeah, in a few hours.
thank you, boss.
Ricardo Perez. Oh, and, yeah. And so your name and date of birth, please.
Ricardo Perez, 10/03/2001.
You also have an arrest warrant, the exact same charge, Tim. DUI, aggravated DUI and wrong way driving. Okay, I appointed a lawyer for you. Your court date will be at 175 West Madison, also on May 11th at 8:30. Witness preliminary hearing on May 13th. Yours has already been charged, but I'm going to release you to pretrial services. Report to them within 72 hours release, what the paperwork says, and alcohol testing and no alcohol whatsoever. All right, so you'll be getting out soon. All right, unless you're being held on something else.
No.
No, because some guy asked that if they're wearing a jail shirt, they either replace a shirt because they're being held on something else. That's why I ask.
No,
Okay, no
I'm not
problem.
there.
Okay. He's not. Okay, thank you. Ms. Stevenson. I didn't want to mispronounce your first name, so I said Ms. Stevenson.
My name is Faye Babylonia.
Oh, Faye. I thought it'd be Fee or Faye, so I left it up to you. All right, and your date of birth is 4/22/60?
Correct.
All right, you are
Thank
charged
you.
with class 4 felony, possession of dangerous drugs, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. You'll be in court at 175 West Madison. It'll be on your paperwork, May 11th at 8:30 for a status conference, and witness preliminary hearing on May 13th at 8:30. All right, no drugs without a valid prescription, okay?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, but I'm releasing your own recognizance. You're getting out in a few hours, all right?
Okay, sir.
But show up for court,
Yes,
okay?
I will,
All
sir.
right, step
Thank
to your
you.
left, please.
Thank you, bro.
Mark Carchula. So your name and date of birth, please.
Yes, Mark Andrew Cortuello, 12/16/84.
Oh, Cutuella. Okay, I like to pronounce names properly, so it was close. You are charged with criminal trespass. Let's try it over again. You have a warrant out of Peoria City Court. The address will be on your paperwork for criminal trespass in 3rd degree, class 3 misdemeanor. Be there on May 12th at 9 o'clock at the Peoria City Court. Don't return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with any alleged complainant or witness, but I'll release you on your own recognizance rather than having a bond set. Okay, so they may not be happy if the bond wasn't set, so just show up there, make them happier, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. William Chavez,
Your Honor, what was that name that you just called?
William Chavez.
I believe he's been seen already.
He has?
Chavez?
Yeah, he hasn't seen? Oh, okay, thank you, because I went out of order, so we didn't have blocked out all, some of the ones I've done. So other than Sean Collins, we've done everybody, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the way it's
That's what
going.
we're doing.
All right, he was disruptive, and so these, that's the reason why he's a house call. He's got two matters, 2026 115571. Oh, he was in isolation for unsafe behavior, disruptive, unable to function. He's charged with criminal damage, assault and criminal damage. Excuse me, assault and 2 counts of criminal damage. One's a class 6, one's a class 2. I appointed a lawyer for him. His court dates will be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference, April 30th at 8:30. Witness preliminary hearing on May 4th at 8:30. He's not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. No alcohol. $2,000 security appearance bond. And then he also got a warrant out of the University Lakes Justice Court for threatening or intimidating. Very, I've got to amend this, by the way. Okay. It's 29. A lawyer will be appointed for him. His arraignment hearing will be April 28th at 8:30. Bond set amount of $100. Okay. That's it. I'll be out there in a second. We go off the record now.
say all right, everyone can stand up to the back. All right.
Someone in the wheelchair can take you. Everyone else be seated.
Police patrol, former release.
I don't understand anything. I sorted everything out. It's back to where it was. Yeah. All right, I'll fix it. I'll fix it in a second. All right, good evening, everybody. This is the 8 o'clock calendar on April 25th. The court orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters in this calendar. I'm not going to say out loud all your release conditions. They will be on your paperwork. At a minimum, it'll say no drugs without a valid prescription and don't drive without a valid driver's license. For those of you who I set release you on, or say release condition says certain bonds, you can go to a bonding company, and their names and numbers of bonding companies are on some walls of the jail. If you can't find them, or if you need help, ask one of the officers for help. All right. Since it's being streamed, I read the Victims' Rights Advisory. If a person is a victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, they're advised they have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present in court proceedings, to choose when or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of police scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who's been convicted in your loss. If you have already not been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. All right. Yeah, I just resorted it, Carla. Okay, Dietrich Small, come up to the podium. Okay, so your name and date of birth, please.
Each small 5181.
All right, so you got two matters before me. One is a bench warrant at Superior Court on a resisting arrest, aggravated assault. Sorry, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. For resisting arrest, aggravated, dangerous drugs, drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. And I would note that you initialed on that on May 1st, 2025. Your judge, you'll have a status conference on April 30th at 8:30. Witness preliminary hearing on May 4th at 8:30 at 175 West Madison. You already have an attorney on that. All right. And your judge said bonding amount of $500 on that one. Now you have a new case in 2026 115572. The charges of resisting arrest, aggravated assault, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Based on the limited information I have, I don't find probable cause, at least at this time, in regard to drug paraphernalia. But I do find probable cause in regard to resisting arrest and the aggravated assault. Appointing a lawyer for you. Likewise, you'll be at 175 West Madison for a status conference on April 30th and witness preliminary hearing on May 4th, both at 8:30. All right. Now, because I mentioned you were out on release for another felony charge, I did find the probable cause. And this matter at this time, I've pursuant to Rule 7.2B and Article 2, Section 22 of the Arizona Constitution, you will be held without bond. You're going to have an evidentiary hearing on May 1st at 1:30 at the 175 West Madison Street. It'll be decided then whether bond can be set. Your lawyer will explain to you what that means. All right, step to your left, please. Tremaine Michael. Your name and date of birth, please.
Tremaine Michael, August 17, 2001.
Okay, just want to review one thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so you are charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault, different levels, unlawful imprisonment, and threatening and intimidating. I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be at 8:30 in the morning at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on April 30th, and witness preliminary hearing at this point is scheduled for May 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victims. You're not to possess any weapons or any alcohol. You must obey in terms of order of protection or any injunctions against harassment that it has been issued or will be issued and served upon you. All right. Bond has been set in a security appearance bond, which means you can go through a bondsman in the amount of $50,000. Step to your left, please. Paris, none. Good evening, sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
11/16/84.
And your name.
LaParis, none.
Okay, so you don't have a criminal matter. Yours is a family's child support arrest warrant. Okay, and the purge amount is $5,000 cash. So either way, if you don't post the money, obviously you'll stay in. Your next court date will be April 28th at 10 o'clock at 201 West Jefferson.
Say that again?
Your next court date will be April 28th at 10 a.m.
April 20.
It'll be on your paperwork, by the way, also.
Okay, can I
Yeah,
speak on
sure.
something?
Just speak a little louder.
Can I speak on something real quick?
Yeah, I'm saying, but speak louder. That's
Okay, you said a purge, I had a purge warrant?
Well, okay. By the way, before I retired, I spent 3 years in family court, so we cannot change the amount. Your judge in family court said you owe a certain amount of money in child support, so he's ordered that you have to pay this money. So if I say purge, just purge this warrant, okay?
So I have to pay
$5,000 in cash, yeah. Now, that's what stated. Now, you'll be seeing your judge on April 28th, which is 2.5 days from now. Then you'll be able to address your judge then about whether that can be changed or not. But at this point, I cannot change family court child support arrest warrants. Okay,
Oh,
so I tried to explain it a little bit to you, but it's basically, alleging you have owed this money and
this is,
okay,
yeah, all right.
okay, that's all I can say on that, all right? Ashley Camarena? Your name and date of birth, please.
Ashley Camarena, 2495.
Sorry, you had to wait another 3 hours, but, the prosecutors want you to provide some more information in regard to it. In fact, they provided the police report, which, now, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault, a class 3 felony, and 1 count of unlawful discharge of a firearm in the city limits, class 6 felony. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your court dates right now are scheduled for 8:30 at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on April 30th, and a witness preliminary hearing at this point scheduled for May 4th, though that might be changed. Your lawyer will explain to you what that might be. First of all, you're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim. You're not to possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. If the state was asking for a bond of $100,000, I'm going to make it a security appearance bond amount of $25,000. So if you post your bond, you better show up for court. All right, step to your left, please. Cameron Bond. Your name and date of birth, please, sir.
Cameron Bond, December 9th, 2002.
Looks like you've got a warrant out of Mesa. I don't know if there's any hold on him for that. Any hold on him from Mesa? So he'll probably go out there tomorrow morning to see a judge in Mesa. Okay. And I know you also have another open case with a warrant, so there might be. I know it's just one case or 3 cases, okay, but or more than that. But anyway, that's that. Here you're charged with burglary in 3rd degree, escape in 2nd degree, resisting arrest, false report to law enforcement, possession of drug paraphernalia, and criminal trespass in 2nd degree. I did appoint a lawyer for you. Your court dates will be 175 West Madison Street at 8:30, status conference on April 30th, and witness preliminary hearing on May 4th. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, initiate contact with the alleged victims, no weapons, no alcohol. And if you get out, contact your probation officer when you're on probation, correct? Yes. You have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Set a security appearance bond amount of $5,000. So you can go to a bonding company. All right, Steve. But if you get out, make sure you contact your probation officer. All right. And also you have the other matter, that's right. You're here on a probation violation. Appoint a lawyer for you on that one. Notice the other one I had you going to 175 West Madison. This one, your probation violation arraignment hearing will be at 201 West Jefferson. Ultimately, they'll be combined. But you have a lawyer for both. The probation violation will be on May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. You're alleged to have violated term 5. Otherwise, the release can. Oh, hold it. Contact your probation officer within 72 hours, and no weapons, no alcohol, and review your paperwork for all release conditions you have here. Okay. And their bond is set in the amount of $500. Okay, that's security appearance bond. Step to your left. Scott McBrayer. Okay, so your name and date of birth, please. Your name and date of birth.
Scott McBrayer, 32068.
All right, so you got a warrant out of the Gila County Superior Court on 2 counts of aggravated assault. If they haven't already appointed a lawyer for you, they'll do.
Well, hold on, I did time for the aggravated
Sir?
assault.
Sir?
I haven't
Sir?
paid my fees.
Sir?
Okay, I don't know, I can't hear you.
Okay, well, especially if you talk at the same time, but right now, all I know is that you have a warrant out of Gila County. All
Yeah,
right, I don't know anything else because it's a different county, so I don't have the resources in regard to that. Okay, I will tell you this, they show you, for 2 counts of aggravated assault.
yeah,
I'm just telling you, that's all I know. I see the warrant.
I got out of prison 2022 for
Okay.
that.
Actually, let me see when this warrant.
But I haven't finished the fines, so that's gotta be it.
Let's see if I can find it. No,
I did my
I'm
parole, did my
trying to look
probation
it.
and everything.
I'm trying to find this for you, sir.
All right, cool.
So just hang loose.
Cause I haven't even gone back to Payson since then.
Okay, hold on. Nope, I can't provide any more information. Anyway, they set a bond for you in the amount of $2,500, and you have an arraignment hearing in April 29th at 8:30. Can't possess any weapons, you can't initiate contact with any alleged victim. Okay, that's all. As I said, it's a different county, so I just.
Yes, I figured I had to get transferred there. That's why I was confused about why I was even here.
Well, I gave you as much information as I have. Okay, all right, step to your left, please. Joey Lopez. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Joey Lopez, 10/21/86.
All right, so you're here on 2 probation violation matters. On both of them, you're alleged to violate terms 3, 5, and 15. I appoint a lawyer for you on both. The court date for both of them will be at 201 West Jefferson for a revocation arraignment hearing, May 1st at 8:30. All right, and obviously, if you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Can't consume or possess any alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Now, in regard to the one that you're on probation for an ag DUI, your judge down there set bond in the amount of $1,000. On the one that you're in probation for facilitation of, I think it's dangerous drugs for sale, $400. The total bond is $1,400. If you're able to get money, get out, say from a bondsman, make sure you show up, contact your probation officer,
Yes, sir.
in court. Your dates will be on your paperwork, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Corey Skinner. He's a gentleman in a wheelchair. Oh, there he is. Sorry, I'm looking over there. All right, sir, your name and date of birth, please.
Roy Roman Skinner, January 2nd, 1988.
Okay, sir, you are charged with robbery. Let me get, actually, you have 3 matters. Let me just let's put it that way. The new one is 2026-115576. You're charged with robbery, class 5 felony, assault, class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for you. And then the following things will apply to all 3 matters, okay? If you get out, contact your probation officer in 72 hours, no alcohol, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Now, in this one, obviously, don't return to the scene of, I guess, the Home Depot, not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or the complainant or witness. All right, you can't. Now, your court date on this one will be at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on April 30th at 8:30 and a witness preliminary hearing at on May 4th. Now, prosecutors wanted a bond of $7,500 on this one. You know, I get a little bit of information from the police, and they mentioned what your story was in regard to that. And I took that in consideration as in mitigation. So in this one, I said bond amount of $750, not $7,500. okay? But I'm saying I did take that into consideration. Then you have, your two probation matters, which are alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. You can get a lawyer on that. They'll be in a different building than the other one, but they'll be combined. So talk to your lawyers about it. Make sure they each know about the other one before they're combined. As I said, you're alleged to have violated terms 3 and 5. Same release conditions such as contacting your probation officer, no alcohol, etc. And each one, a judge down there set bond of $250 each. So your total bond is $750 on the new matter and $500 on the probations. So
Okay,
that's $1,250, I think. If my arithmetic is good, and you can go to a bonding company. All right, step to your left, please.
can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure. I recommend you don't talk about the facts of the case because everything's being recorded.
Yeah, sure. So I was trying to make contact with my probation officer and I couldn't get a hold of him.
Okay, well,
I called him multiple times.
I can't do anything about that now. That's something your lawyer will be your mouthpiece, you know what I mean, and talk to your probation officer and the court. Okay?
Okay, well,
But it's initially gonna have two different lawyers, but they'll combine into one and in the same building. So remember at first, the probation violations are at 201 West Jefferson. The new matter is set at, which is, oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned the arraignment hearing. Excuse me 1 second here. That's at 175 West Madison, April 30th and May 4th. And then the probation violation is on at 201 West Jefferson on May 1st. So they're at least not at the same time, which happens quite a bit, okay? But you'll be seeing your lawyer very shortly, in a couple of days. All right?
and I won't be being released at all.
What?
I won't be released.
If you post your bond, you can get released. All right, Emily Rasmussen? All right, your name and date of birth. Hi.
Hi, Emily Rasmussen, 5/28/1975.
Well, you got a warrant out of the Manistee Justice Court. The address will be in your paperwork on a DUI. And ordinarily, it's on failure to pay. And they want a bond of over $588. Ordinarily, I take things in consideration and try to release people. Your case is back in 2000, 26 years ago.
I know. Is there any way I can give you guys override over my social security check to take money out?
Well, no,
on
you don't
the
give it
first
to me.
of the month?
For the court. Well, let's put it this way. I reduced the bond to $100 and you go to a bonding company. Obviously, if you get money from Social Security, you could apply the money to there. But I'm saying it's 26 years old.
I know.
And so that's why I'm not going to do the bond they wanted, but I had to set some bond because I've seen how often you've been arrested.
I don't have any way to pay a bond.
But I thought you said you're getting money.
Not until the 1st.
I know, but I'm saying your court date is on April 29th. You can tell the judge that that's between you and the JP in Manistee.
Is there any way I can make financial arrangements?
You have to talk to him in there. Remember, it's in the
Okay.
Justice Court. We're here in Superior Court. Okay? All right.
Okay,
Take care of it.
when is it?
April 29th. It'll be in your paperwork.
Okay, thank you. You sure you can't let me just do fine paying or meet
No.
with the fines department?
No.
No.
You got to talk to the judge out there. Okay? Manuel Moore?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so, well, actually, we're after at night.
Well, yeah, night.
I know, there's so many windows in the jail.
Right.
I can't understand why you wouldn't know that. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Manuel Moore, 08/24/99.
Okay, it looks like you're on probation in Pinal County, but being courtesy supervised here. The information I get here, they're not gonna file a hold on a probation violation.
Okay.
Okay. Whether that happens it's not up to me, okay? But right now, so you got a warrant at the University Lakes Justice Court on 2 counts of DUI. And I just want to check one other thing here also. Yeah, I'm not appointing a lawyer for you. You have to be there on April 29th at 8:30. No alcohol, and the bond will be $100. So my suggestion is pay it off, whatever the case may be. Take care of it so you don't have to spend your time here.
Okay,
Okay?
I understand. Thank you.
But definitely show up for court there.
All right.
Mark Muggleston? Yeah. All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Mark Andrew McGleston, February 18th, 1986.
Okay. So you got three matters on the calendar. On the calendar, it said one is probation violation and 2 bench warrants. It's technically kind of 3 bench warrants, not probation violations. Because like, as I was going over this, it kind of wasn't making sense. They're not probation. It's not probation violations. Apparently, it's more of an issue in drug court.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you already have a lawyer on them. Your court date's gonna be at 175 West Madison on April 29th at 9:30 in the morning. All right, and your judge there set a bond on each one of them, the same amount, $50 cash. So your total bond is $150 cash.
Okay.
If you get out, show up there. If you don't, they'll be taken care of. And just follow through in the drug court.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you much. Appreciate it, sir. So 150 total, you want to release?
What?
So 150 total to release?
Yeah, but you still gotta show up for court, yeah. But it's cash though.
Sure.
Gregory Gray? All right, so your name and date of birth, please.
Gregory Gray, 4/24/07. Birthday just passed.
Yeah, I gotta change one thing, by the way. I'm looking at your age, so I gotta do one thing. Okay, so you're charged with criminal trespass in the 1st degree. I appoint a lawyer for you, and don't lose your paperwork. You do it at 175 West Madison Street for a status conference on May 11th at 8:30, and a witness preliminary hearing on May 13th at 8:30.
Okay.
All right? You're not to return the scene of alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. This is why I changed no alcohol. That's why I was looking at your date of birth.
Yes, sir.
Because you're 18.
Just turned 19. On the 24th.
Right. Yesterday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you got to spend a birthday outside of jail, right?
It was a very bad birthday.
I just can't add tonight. Okay. But anyway, you got to show up for court.
Yes, sir.
I'm releasing you on an ankle bracelet. No bond. You won't have to post a bond. What basically happens is you have to buy their conditions, report to them within 72 hours. They'll put an ankle bracelet on you, and you can only leave your home during hours approved by pretrial services.
Say that again for me.
You can only leave your home during hours approved by pretrial services.
Okay.
Okay, you'll get information in your packet, so read it carefully, but you'll be wearing an ankle bracelet, but no bond. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So I don't know exactly when they'll be doing it. Okay? All right.
Does that mean I'm released?
Once you get the bracelet on,
Okay.
and then you have to process things. Okay. Leparius Snowden?
Anyone or two?
How you doing today?
Fine, let's see about you though. Your name and date of birth, please.
My name is Leparius, April 4th, 2006.
Okay, just want to see one thing. Okay. Sir, let me just tell you, I have, two matters before me. Um, let me find. You're on probation for theft, by the way, also, and you're alleged to violate term number 1. So let's just deal with that one first, okay? Your court date on that one will be May 1st at 8:30 at 201 West Jefferson. All right, appointing a lawyer for you. If you get out, when you get out, contact your probation officer within 72 hours. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. All right, I'll talk about your release conditions in a second. Now, on the new charge, which is aggravated assault, class 6 felony, appointing a lawyer for you, you'll be.
Sir, I didn't trust
One
nobody.
second. You're gonna want to hear me out on this one, okay?
Yes, sir.
The court date on these will be 175 West Madison, so it's a different building than the other one. They're right across the street from each other. Will be status conference on May 11th at 8:30 and a witness preliminary hearing on May 13th. Same release conditions such as contacting your probation officer, no weapons, and initiate contact with a victim or a victim. So I'm doing something I rarely do when someone has a probation violation. I'm releasing you to be supervised by your probation officer.
Yes, sir.
So you'll be getting out in about 4 to 6 hours, but all I can say is please stay on the good side of your probation officer, okay? So you can stay out of here, okay?
Yes, sir. But can I say something?
Yeah, you can. But don't talk about the facts of the case. I really recommend,
All right, yes, sir.
because everything's been recorded. People, over the years, especially when I was doing a trial calendar, people would make statements. They thought they were being real smart making these statements, and their lawyers were grimace because they're making a statement about the case which hurts them. Okay, that's why I recommend people not to talk about it today. All right.
All right.
PT Price, PT Joseph Price. Okay. My eyes are getting tired. I want to make sure it was PT and not something else. All right. All right. Your name and date of birth, please.
PT Price, October 31st, 1994.
All right. So you got an arrest warrant at a Superior Court on an ag DUI, having a passenger under 15, a class 6 felony, alleged to have taken place on December 12th, 2024. Okay. I am appointing a lawyer for you. I have to change one thing. I'm sorry, Carla. Okay. Okay. Your court date will be, court dates will be 175 West Madison at 8:30, status conference May 11th, and witness preliminary hearing set 2 days later on May 13th. No, you can't consume any alcohol. You'll be released to pretrial services. You got to report to them within 72 hours and do alcohol testing. You'll get some documentation from one of the officers. Read it carefully. You don't want another warrant, so comply with pretrial services, including alcohol testing. All right?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to be processed, but then you'll be getting out of here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
With your luck, please. Christopher Tiarena. I'm not going to try to butcher it, sir. Okay. And so your name and date of birth, please.
My name's Christopher Tiarena, February 23rd, 1990.
All right, and I would have tried to get there, but I would try to show respect, like call people their names. If I gave up on you, I didn't want to show disrespect.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you are charged in the Goodyear City Court. The address will be on your paperwork.
Right.
Assault and disorderly conduct, both 2 domestic violence offenses. Now, you're saying you wanted to represent yourself?
Oh,
Is that what you
no,
said?
I thought there was gonna be a lawyer and stuff right here.
No, it says you were, according to pretrial service, you said you're going to represent yourself.
Well, I don't know how to.
Okay, okay. Either way, if you did that, the court down there would have to make a decision on that. So I am appointing,
I thought I was representing myself, sorry.
Well, today you're here without a lawyer, okay, but,
Right.
one will be appointed for you at the next hearing, okay? Couple things we gotta talk about, and I did have a victim impact statement, that they'd like you to see your doctor.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did all the
I'm
time.
just let me just tell you, because it's some of it's pretty positive in terms of stuff. They want you to get help, okay?
Right, I do get help.
Okay, okay, let me finish, okay. I do have a case manager.
Yes.
That's what I thought, okay? So this is what you're gonna do. First of all, your court date, at the Goodyear City Court will be May 13th at 1 o'clock. Make sure you're there.
May 13th?
Yeah, it'll be on your paperwork, okay?
Okay.
You can't. You must contact your case manager within 24 hours of release. Okay?
After I get released, I have to call him?
Okay.
Okay.
Contact, yeah, whoever, you know.
Okay.
If there's a problem the weekend, make sure you do it Monday, you know.
Right.
Today's Friday, right? Yeah.
Today's Saturday. Today's
So
Saturday.
on Monday, if you can't, they're not available or something.
Tuesday?
No, Monday.
Monday? Okay, Monday.
Yeah, I'm saying tomorrow, we may not be able to reach them. That's what I'm saying. But let me just finish in this. And I've made a little slight just change in terms of the conditions in regard to it. Let me say the whole amount. Don't interrupt me on this. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim or victims. All right. I mentioned about the case manager. Now, I also added, you may return to the scene of the alleged crime and or initiate contact with the alleged victim only with prior written permission of the alleged victim.
Right.
Okay. And they want to make it condition of your release that you see your doctor. I'm just telling you, and I think your agreement on that, keeping, was the doctor, got the name they gave me. 1 second. Oh, I know why I didn't remember the name. They didn't write a name. Okay. And they're suggesting you get an increase in your meds.
That's fine. But it's just gonna hurt me when I sleep.
I'm just, you know, or if there's, because a lot of psych drugs have side effects, so you can maybe talk to your doctor about maybe there's some other drug which might be better for you. Okay. That's called communication.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you'll be out in 4 to 6 hours, but you can't go back there unless you get the prior written permission.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's good. Nicholas Vargas. All right. Good evening, sir. Your name and date of birth, please.
Nicholas Vargas, August 10, 1999.
Okay. So you got two matters before me. You have a probation matter, and you also have a new matter. New matter is, and I appoint a lawyer if you want both. But initially, you'll be in two different places. Okay, they'll be combined. Talk to your lawyers about that. In new case, you got charged with theft, class 1 misdemeanor, issuing a bad check, class 1 misdemeanor, possession of dangerous drugs, class 4 felony. I said I appointed a lawyer for you. On this one, you'll be at the South Court Tower, 175 West Madison Street on May 11th at 8:30 for status conference and a witness preliminary hearing on May 13th. Now, the following apply to both. Well, first of all, do not to return the scene of the alleged crime, can initiate contact with the alleged complainant or witness. So here applies to both. No weapons, no alcohol, no drugs without a valid prescription. Contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Okay, now there's that. Now, in the probation violation, you're on probation for a class 6 felony. You'll have your arraignment hearing on May 1st at 8:30. That'll be at 201 West Jefferson. So it's across the street from each other. So don't mess up. Don't forget your paperwork. Same release conditions, but on both, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm releasing you to the supervision of your probation officer. It's like I told the other gentleman, be on the good side with your probation officer, because if you don't, you'll be back here. Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be about 4 to 6 hours before you get out, but be smart and contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay.
Sounds good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Alright, judge is about to walk in. As she steps in, I'm gonna say, all right, everybody to their seat. All right.
All right, thank you. May be seated. All right, good evening. My name is Commissioner Elizabeth Campbell, and this is the 11 p.m. initial appearance calendar for April 25th, 2026. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Persons appearing before this court are reminded that they have the right to remain silent and that anything you say could be used against you. Most of you have qualified for a court-appointed attorney. If you have not qualified for a court-appointed attorney, or even if you have, you may retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I will be calling you up individually. When your name is called, please proceed to the podium. At the conclusion of your matter, officers will have paperwork for you. That paperwork will contain my complete orders in your case. It will also contain the dates, times, and locations of your future hearings. I now need to read a victim's rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this evening with Samuel Ramirez and then Anthony Lawrence, please. All right, sir, go ahead, state your name.
Samuel Ramirez,
All right, and Mr. Ramirez, what is your date of birth?
May 9, 2003.
Thank you. All right, sir, you are here because you were arrested on 2 counts of shoplifting, removal of goods, Class 1 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of shoplifting concealment, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for all of those. I am indicating that in this matter, an attorney should be appointed for you at your next hearing for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. Because in this matter, I am setting a $50 secured appearance bond. I'm also setting a hearing in Goodyear Municipal Court on April 29th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, you are also here because the Tolleson Municipal Court issued a warrant for your arrest. This is a failure to appear violation of written promise to appear warrant based upon allegations that you committed the offense of possession of drug paraphernalia on or about October 8th of 2025. In that matter, I am also indicating that an attorney should be appointed for you at your next hearing for limited representation regarding the bond issue only, because in this case I am also setting a $50 secured appearance bond. I'm also setting a hearing on May 4th at 8:30 in the Tolleson Municipal Court. Now, finally, you are here because the Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest based upon your failure to appear in your matter CR 2023-007916. In that matter, the court should already have made a determination about whether or not you are entitled to have an attorney appointed. So I'm not making that decision again this evening. I am setting a hearing on May 1st at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. And pursuant to that failure to appear arrest warrant, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $900. Now, in the event you are able to post your bonds and secure your release, I am reminding you, you do need to go to those hearings. And I realize that there's 3 different sets of hearings in 3 different matters. If you go ahead and step to the left, officer will have your paperwork with all of that hearing information. If you don't go to your hearings, warrants may issue for your arrest. If you are still in custody at the time of your Maricopa County Superior Court matter, you will be transported for that with connection with your municipal court matters. If you are still in custody at those times, officers should be able to arrange for you to attend those hearings remotely, okay? All right, go ahead, step to the left. Officer has your paperwork. Anthony Lawrence, please, and then Sarah Satter.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead, state your name.
Anthony Joseph Lawrence Jr.
And Mr. Lawrence, what is your date of birth?
June 16th, 1999.
Thank you. All right, sir. You are here on 2 matters. We're going to go ahead and start with your newest matter first. All right, you were arrested earlier today on charges of burglary in the 3rd degree. That is a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause for that violation. I am appointing you an attorney. I am setting hearings on May 11th at 8:30 and May 13th at 8:30. Both of those will be in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Will you go to those?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this evening to pretrial services. Pretrial services will do things like remind you of your upcoming hearing dates.
Okay.
Now, you are also here because the Maricopa County Superior Court issued a warrant for your arrest in a direct complaint matter. Now, direct complaint alleges that on or about December 26th of 2025, you committed the offenses of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession or use of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. In that matter, I am appointing you an attorney, and I am setting hearings on May 11th at 8:30 and May 13th at 8:30. Again, both of those will be in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court.
Go ahead, I'm
The-
sorry.
They are the same dates and times.
Okay.
Okay, will you go to those hearings?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so again, based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this evening on your own recognizance. You do need to go to your hearings. I'm going to release you this evening to pretrial services. You do need to go to your hearings. If you don't go to your hearings, warrants may issue for your arrest, okay?
So, okay, it would all be on the same, like, same
So,
type of building or floor?
so they will be the same place and the same time. So basically you have two new cases. You have one direct complaint.
The warrant was issued because I got...
So you have two new cases. You have the burglary case for which you were arrested earlier today. Okay, those are your newest charges. But you also have a direct complaint based upon drug charges from December of last year. Okay?
Okay.
But because they're all new charges, you do have the same set of hearings. The first one on May 11th at 8:30, and then the next one on May 13th at 8:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, go ahead, step to the left. Officer has that paperwork for you.
Okay, thank you.
Sarah Souter, please, and then Johnny Popejoy. Hi, go ahead, state your name.
Sarah Sutter,
And Ms. Souter, what is your date of birth?
5/17/81.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, you are here because you were arrested earlier today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and assault.
Whoa, they didn't report me as the possession. I was, read my Miranda's under assault only, and I was also a victim of assault.
Oh, okay, hold on just a second.
That drug charge is totally new to me.
Okay. The substance issue is alleged cocaine.
Found in my vehicle, not on my person.
Okay, hold on, and I will be able to tell you. Give me a second. Yeah, while conducting an inventory search of the vehicle, officers located a small baggie, this is from the Form 4, a small baggie of white powdery substance located in the open glove box.
Open glove box? They're saying the glove box is open?
Okay, you asked me a question. Where did I get this information? This is where I got the information from the Form 4. These are the allegations on which I am basing my probable cause finding. Now, I am appointing you an attorney, so you can talk to your attorney about whatever defenses you believe you may have. Okay, so let me back up. All right, so you were arrested on charges of possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and assault, class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for both of those. I am appointing you an attorney. I am setting hearings on May 11th at 8:30 and May 13th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Will you go to those?
Yes.
All right, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this morning to pretrial services. Pretrial services will do things like remind you of your upcoming hearing dates. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You're not to possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no alcohol. You're also going to need to obey the terms of any order of protection or injunction against harassment that has been issued or may be issued, okay? All right, go ahead, step to the left, officer has your paperwork. Johnny Popejoy, please, and then Rosalio Alvarez. All right, sir, go ahead, state your name.
Johnny Popejoy,
And Mr. Popejoy, what is your date of birth?
4/18/83.
Thank you. All right, sir, you are here because you were arrested earlier today on charges of disorderly conduct, fighting, a class 1 misdemeanor, and assault, a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for both of those. Due to the nature of those charges, you're not entitled to have me appoint an attorney for you this morning. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on May 12th at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court. Will you go to that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this morning on your own, this evening on your own recognizance. You do need to go to that hearing. If you don't go to that hearing, a warrant may issue for your arrest. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with the alleged complainant or witness. Now, you're not to possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no alcohol. Now, based upon the Form 4, my understanding is the alleged victim is the mother of your children, correct? Okay. So I am stating in this order that you may contact the alleged victim only by email or text messaging and only regarding issues directly involving the parenting of your common minor children, okay? With no harassment to occur even if the messages are related to parenting issues. You may have in-person contact with the alleged victim only to accomplish exchanges of the children by prior arrangement through email or text messaging, and may not discuss any matters outside of parenting issues during such contact, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead, step to the left, officer has your paperwork. All right, Rosalio Alvarez, please, and then Thomas Price. All right, sir, go ahead, state your name.
Rosalio Alvarez,
And Mr. Alvarez, what is your date of birth?
8/31/95.
Thank you. All right, sir, you are here because the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court issued a warrant for your arrest. This is an initial arrest warrant based upon allegations that on or about April 24th of 23, you committed the following offenses. DUI, a Class 1 misdemeanor. DUI with a BAC of .08 or more, a Class 1 misdemeanor. And extreme DUI, DUI with a BAC of .15 to .2, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. In that matter, I am appointing you an attorney, and I am setting a hearing on May 13th at 1 p.m. in the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Yes, I had a question. I was waiting for my court date, but I got it late. I got the letter saying that I didn't go to court, but I was waiting for the letter. I never got the letter.
Okay.
That's why I didn't go to court that day, because they never sent me the letter. I was waiting for the letter to go to court, and they never. And then when I got it, it was because I didn't show up to court, but it was because they never sent me the letter.
Okay, so you can take all that up with the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court.
Okay.
So I'm setting a hearing on May 13th at 1 p.m. with the Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Yes.
All right, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this morning on your own recognizance. You do need to go to that hearing. If you don't go to that hearing, a warrant may issue for your arrest, and you have been here for almost 10 hours at this point.
Yes.
So don't come back and see me, okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. No drugs without a valid prescription and no alcohol, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Full release conditions are in your paperwork if you want to go ahead. Also, the date, time, and location with the address of your Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court is in the paperwork that the officer has for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay?
Thanks.
Thomas Price, please. All right, Mr. Price, go ahead, state your name.
Thomas Lee Price,
And Mr. Price, what is your date of birth?
7471.
All right, sir, you are here because you were arrested earlier today on charges of threatening, intimidating, a Class 1 misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for all of those. Based on the nature of those charges, you're not entitled to have me appoint an attorney for you this evening. However, you may, of course, retain an attorney at your own expense to represent you. I am setting a hearing on May 12th at 1:30 in the West McDowell Justice Court. Will you go to that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go
You
ahead.
said May 12th? Oh, you going to write it down?
May 12th at, May 12th at 1:30, but it'll be in your paperwork, okay? And will you go to that?
Yeah, I will go.
Okay, then based upon your promise to appear, I'm going to go ahead and release you this evening on your own recognizance. You do need to go to that hearing. If you don't go to that hearing, a warrant may issue for
No, I'm
you.
going to, you don't got to worry about me, y'all.
Okay. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim or with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're not to possess any weapons.
I think the big misunderstanding, man, Your Honor. We'll fix it. All right, we gotta get to it.
Okay. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no alcohol, all right? Release conditions are in your paperwork, which your officer has for you. If you want to go ahead, step to the left, and she'll give it to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, and that does in fact bring us to the end. May 12th. All right, and that does bring us to the end of our 11 p.m. initial appearance calendar. And we are going to go ahead and stand adjourned until 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we are off the record.